So இன்னைக்கு வந்து அகிலா கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி அவங்களோட பேச போறோம். She's a very creative and very aesthetic person, and she began her career as a journalist, and she is a success story today. I think all of my artist friends who are on the live with me today kind of know what an amazing company Alap is and the kind of work that they're doing today. So I'm very excited. Usually நானும் அகிலாக்காவும் நிறைய ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். I've had the good fortune of hosting a couple of events for Alap, and எப்போவுமே I think Akilaka and I have discussed about how I am to interview other people, but I'm kind of excited now because she's going to be my guest. So let's just call Akilaka.
Hi everybody. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited that you're my guest today, but finally this is not a discussion or some kind of like a planning meeting.
Thank you, Kritika. I really appreciate it.
Of course, and I have to tell everyone how much I've learned from you and how much I admire you.
Oh my God.
And actually, one of the first people I thought of when I actually planned the series was you. So thank you for
that makes me feel really good. Thank you so much.
You should. I'm going to talk a lot about Alap and the kind of work you guys do, but I'm also interested about your journey. So let's talk about how you started off as a journalist. So you've worked with a leading publication house, and journalism நிறைய என்ன சொல்றது நிறைய sections இருந்தாலும் what kind of drew you to the arts? What made you interested in dance and music and performing arts?
Okay, I'm going to try to make it as taut as possible because that's what journalism taught me.
You're the guest here, so you need to talk.
Oh yeah, I'm actually more used to being the one who's asking the questions.
I know.
It feels a bit weird to kind of. Well, the thing is, Kritika, I was always interested in writing. Even as a child, my mother says I was interested in writing, and I always wanted to sort of pursue a career in writing. And I also grew up like all girls in my community were exposed. I was exposed to the arts, both dance and music.
Party class,
and party class, dance class that I rebelled through my college. And I sort of started my career as a journalist in the Times of India. And then I went on to work for the India Today group for about 3 years. And then I came back to the Times of India as the editor of all the supplements of the Times of India. So when I quit my job in 2010, I was 2011, I was the editor of about 16 supplements. So, so I mean, I was literally putting one supplement to bed every day. So we were churning out content for it like every day. So I kind of got used to sort of a high pressure job. Like right from the beginning as a journalist. And I was particularly interested, like, when I became the editor, every editor brings to the paper a certain, you can tell that this editor is probably a little interested in fashion. This editor probably got a heart for the arts. Because I guess like also as you grow older, you tend to value your parents and everything that they've given you a little more. So I sort of almost naturally, as life comes back full circle, I started gravitating towards the arts. Right. And I started in my career, I really particularly enjoyed meeting with artists and attempting to re-articulate their stories. That gave me a lot of, I really enjoyed that. I mean, as a journalist, I've always enjoyed meeting people and writing stories and attempting to retell their stories for a large universe. But I particularly enjoyed meeting and writing about artists and the arts. So I think in a sense, for so many years, that's from 2000 until 2014 when I started, 2012 when I started Alap, I had written enough about a whole bunch of artists in the city and in the country that I think in some way I'd earned a goodwill, a rapport with them. They knew that
I knew the kind of work you were doing.
That I was doing, that I was sort of sensitive to the arts in my writing as well. So I think that was my trajectory before I started Alap. I continue to be an independent journalist and I still write about the arts. But I feel like it helps me sort of, write about the arts and also have a company like Alap that works in the space of the arts.
Very true. Veena Balasubramaniam says, Akila, please see that the light falls on you.
Okay.
Would you guys like more light on her? Can someone tell me if she's okay?
That's okay. Veena
Hi, Shravan.
Balasubramanian is my aunt, so it's fine.
Oh,
She's
okay.
seen my face several times.
Thank you, auntie. Thank you, auntie. Shravan says, wonderful to see you both. Hi, Shravan.
Hi.
Okay, so from being a journalist, when did the idea of being an entrepreneur kind of spark? When did you get that thought for the first time?
Okay, so the thing is, Kritika, it's interesting. Sometimes I try to think about the Alap trajectory myself, and I think it's been such an organic kind of journey for me that it's difficult for me to break it down. Like I really, literally, I'm not even joking. I started Alap literally on a whim. I was sitting in Sangeeta and drinking coffee. I had quit my job and I was an independent freelance journalist. And I was working at such a breakneck speed as a freelance journalist. And my husband would tell me, boss, look, you're never going to be able to make the kind of money that you wear as a full timer. You can't churn out 10 stories a day to be able to make that kind of money. But I was kind of like, I was obviously missing the buzz of like everyday reporting and stuff like that. And I wanted to start something that married my interest in the arts with my experience in journalism. So Alap's first baby was really a magazine. That was a commentary-based magazine on the performing arts. From there, we've kind of moved into so many different directions.
Absolutely, yes.
And today, if somebody asks me to define Alap, which is actually quite a tough thing for me to do, depending on the person who's asking me the question, I say, sometimes I say we are a arts management company. Sometimes they say we are a consulting company. If I'm talking to the McKinseys of the world, I tell them I'm a consulting company, but in the space of the performing arts.
Right.
If somebody from an advertising agency is asking me, I say that we are an advertising agency, a PR company, an ideas company, a social media marketing company, exclusively for the classical performing arts. So that's really our trajectory. And I think I was interested in exploring my interest in the arts, but also to see how we can create more solid systems and processes in what is a fairly unorganized industry. And I would work so much with artists. I would talk to senior artists. I would talk to, young aspiring dancers. And I would think that in some way, like, I would, as an editor, like, cinema PR agents from cinema would call me. And it would be so easy for them to like, just say that, just would you like for us to organize an interview and this artist will be available. But whereas a dancer in the middle of organizing a show, she will call me and say, Akhila, please, could you do something about me? And I would be like, it must be so tough for them having to like work with orchestra, train their students, fix an auditorium, get the costume, get the clothes, all of that, and market and do PR press for it.
It's kind of an all in all.
Exhausting, right? So I felt like we would be a good sort of an organization that would understand the arts, and therefore the artists would not feel like they're talking to somebody who has no clue about what they're communicating. But I think we also came to it from the point of view of we are not artists. So in some way there is a certain detachment that we have, and therefore we're able to bridge those two gaps well. So I think that's really what I was interested in, seeing how we can bridge the gap between the artist and the audience, interestingly, in fresh ways. And that's really how Alap was born. And like I said, Kritika, it was one thing led to another. First, we started a magazine. Then I remember the Natyakala conference was happening. Priyadarshini Govind, who's a very, very dear friend of mine, she was putting together Natyakala conference. And she said, Akhila, can you help me? And literally, we just helped. And we were like, okay, we can do this.
It just happened.
It just happened. And then we said, okay, for every magazine that we put out, thematic magazine, we will do a concert. So we started doing curated concerts that were based on the theme of the magazine. So that started our journey with concerts. The moment concerts happened, I was like, oh my God, who's going to fund these concerts? Let me explore sponsorship avenues. How do you make a sponsorship?
This was actually my next question to you, because Alap as a company, you guys are a business. But it's not, it's not a type of like a product manufacturing business or whatever. You deal with creative artists, and it's an all in all like a different ball game. So how do you manage being a business in this kind of like a field?
I often think about this, and every time I have a different answer. But today my answer is going to be that in some way, I think the principles on which Alap is constructed are the same principles on which the arts as an industry is built on. So if you as an artist, if I were to ask you, what would be your core values? Your core values, I suppose, would be passion, imagination, innovation, empathy, honesty, and ambition. I think Alap is constructed on those values.
Mhm.
I feel like we in some way mirror all the,
The values of
qualities,
artists.
value systems of the arts and the artists. But obviously, we attempt to make money out of doing that because we
Absolutely,
have
yeah.
salaries to pay and bills
Yeah.
to pay and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, does that answer your question? I mean, am I rambling?
No, it does. It makes perfect sense. Before I
Yeah.
go on to my next question, I think there are couple of questions for you. So Nivedita wants to know what steps as a well-informed organization are you guys taking to address the artist adversities in terms of opportunities versus having to spend their money to showcase talent?
Oh yeah, that's really one of my pet projects actually, and I'm really hoping that at some point we're going to be able to create a solid set of patrons that support the classical performing arts. I know there is stuff for theater now, but somehow we are trying to see what can we do in a way that we create a body that supports or a bunch of like trusts that really support and patronize the classical performing arts, which really has such a massive audience. I mean, yesterday we did a show on Instagram, and we had a huge following, her by her.
Yeah.
And we had a huge following, and it's such a huge, it validates just the amazing reach and potential and power of dance, Bharatanatyam in particular. And I'm thinking, like, why wouldn't sponsors actually put their money here? Because it's a huge audience that is wanting to consume it, huge audience like pursuing it. So I think, yes, we are doing what it takes. It is a long, every year we manage to raise some funds for some projects, but we've not yet been successful in creating a bunch of patrons that will consistently and constantly support the arts. But we're hoping to do that, and that is on our agenda.
Okay, there's another question for you. Are you thinking of expanding ALA? Like, would you have a branch outside of India for artists who are not from here?
Okay, the thing, it's interesting. I mean, in an ideal scenario, like my husband keeps asking me this about how are you going to scale ALAP? And the thing is, the truth is, first of all, I'm not a business person, I started ALAP because I was interested in the arts and I had some experience in journalism, but I've definitely I've managed this business. We are foraying into our 8th year. The thing about scale is, Kritika, it's like we work with individuals. Our clients are individual artists.
Artists, correct.
So, yeah, right. And therefore, there is a certain, like when it's different from, there is a certain, we work on trust. Trust is the most important thing. And when you bring scale, right, you're always going to battle the issue of, is that trust going to be preserved?
Correct. ஏன்னா ஒரு ஆர்டிஸ்டுக்கும் அவங்களோட ப்ரொடக்ஷனோ இல்ல அவங்களோட ப்ராஜெக்டோ இஸ் லைக் தேர் பேபி
கண்டிப்பா.
So yeah, and they're giving it to you na, and the நம்பிக்கை is very important.
Absolutely. அந்த நம்பிக்கையை நாங்க preserve பண்ணி, so many artists, I mean, I personally go and நான் பேசி அப்படிதான் we get new projects. So suddenly I can't suddenly scale it up, hire 10 client servicing people. In an ideal scenario, I would like to do that. But is it possible? I don't know. At some point, we have to
maybe a slow process.
It is a very slow process. It took me a long time to make peace with that. But I feel like I have made peace that it's going to go slow, but there is definitely return on investment of some sort. And return on investment also in this business is not literally like conversion in terms of money. For example, I'm going to bypass a little and speak about, for instance, now we're doing these projects in the lockdown series, and it's our return on investment, Kritika. How generously and magnanimously every single artist I have reached out to has
and
shared without sharing, without batting an eyelid. They're saying, oh, anything for ALAP, we'll do it for ALAP, we'll do it for you. I mean, this is our return on investment. Every single time an artist says, Kandipa Akka, yes, we'll do it, I'm like, wow, this is our return on investment. So return on investment is an intangible in this business. And obviously the people who work in it and me has to understand that this is not a product or a services company in that sense of the word. It's a company which is based on value systems, and it's a company that has to feel that sense of wonderment and satisfaction, just the way you as an artist feel after you give a great performance, right? In some sense, I live vicariously through all of you.
So sweet. Akka, also, and it's so diverse, and I can't exactly say you're conservative in terms of your approach to the art. So, for instance, mixtape on Nepo Alap is doing. So, you also, evlo classical arts celebrate Pandrelo. Ade alavu, I think you, just any type of music or any type of art is given equal importance. So, Idapati, what kind of influences Alap? And it's the way it looks
Okay.
at the art.
Kritika, I often think about this, that we as an individual, we are a storehouse of many identities. I'm not one. You're a dancer, you're a writer, you're a chef, you're like everything, right? You're a storehouse of many identities and many influences. While I was growing up, my parents sent me to dance and party class, but there was constantly R.D. Burman and Kishore Kumar playing in the background. We listened to a lot of Hindustani music. As I grew up, my brother, I hope he's watching, he listened to a lot of Western. He introduced me to a lot of pop music, Michael Jackson, all of that. So in some way, I come to it from the point of view, Alap and I are, in a sense, similar. We have similar personalities. So Alap is a reflection of my personality, Kritika. So, and my personality is an eclectic personality. I like to wear a sari.
Very beautifully put, because it is your baby, it is your brainchild. So
yeah,
it kind of mirrors who you are.
Absolutely. And I think that and I also think that for everybody, it's imperative to be open to many influences, many inspirations, and never feel like I'm a classical dancer, so I won't listen to,
Other kinds of.
Yeah. So I feel like as a result, I have everything that Alap does is a reflection of where I, in some sense, come from, my influences, my inspirations, and most often it appeals to a large universe. So I think in that sense, we've got I'd like to think we're getting the mix right.
You are. Alap is a success story.
And also, I want to answer that question that you said about contemporary, right? So for example, I don't know if you can see this board behind me. I strategically placed this here. This is the Alap board. Yes. So in some sense, even though we primarily work in the space of the classical arts, Kritika, we are a contemporary company. We are in the now. We are like classical arts in the now. We're not classical arts trapped in a different era or a period. No, we are trying to see how can we communicate the classical arts to a large audience in a way that is crystal clear and in a language and tone that they understand.
Understand, yes. In fact, so I want to talk about your packaging and the way you present things here, because you put it or in a sort of the traditional concept, you package it so nicely. So like in a way that would motivate or inspire the younger artists.
Yeah.
So
I also think that like I said before, that I think in some way Alap comes from my point of view, which is I am not an artist, okay, but I'm little informed, as I'm an informed Rasika. Let's put it that way. So in some way, I'm always curating from the point of view of what will appeal to an audience to some extent, and almost always we're talking the B2C language. B2C.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So in some way, the audience and what the dynamic of the audience is something that we are extremely conscious of. We understand that pulse because we are that. We don't, my team is not built.
It has to appeal to you to appeal to the audiences.
And almost always I feel that it works because, and I can assure you that no artist ever feels bad when a whole bunch of audiences like it and they feel like I didn't present my art like that. So correct. All artists feel good when a large universe appreciates it, right? So after all, dance is all about, arts is all about sharing, right? And when a larger bunch of people like accept it, then it's definitely more heartwarming. Yeah. So I think definitely, like, I guess because we come to it from the point of view of an audience and an informed audience, who is also very, very consciously sensitive to the arts and the artists. We are always trying to curate from this point of view, but with absolutely due respect to the artist.
Absolutely. So one of the other questions for you was, as a journalist, I think ungalku or one-man show madri, ungalku a certain kind of freedom irundirukku. When you're writing an article, you can take your time. It's your words and the way you look at things. But I think when it comes to being an entrepreneur, you're kind of you face different kind of challenges. Say, for instance, artists are creative people, and working with artists is not the easiest. I know this myself because I dance too. So, how has it been when it comes to being an entrepreneur, in the sense to be dealing with deadlines and targets and all of that? So, how has journalism helped you, and how different is it from journalism?
Okay, like I said, journalism taught me to work hard, and I've always been like, everybody who knows me to some extent will tell you that I'm a workaholic, and I thrive in
You are. Your energy is infectious also.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So journalism taught me long hours at work. It taught me to understand that, I never ever, like, for example, I like to recruit anybody who says, I want to close shop at 5 p.m. I will not hire that person.
Yeah.
And so I always need people who are not looking at the clock, who are going to say, hey, I'm passionate about this. I want to give this my everything, and I'm going to be available like all the time. Entrepreneurship taught me that, it's I learned to recognize the value of being an employee after I became an entrepreneur, because I thought that after I became
the whole thing. Yeah.
I thought, I am the boss. I'm going to go one day with a tub of popcorn, சத்யம்ல சினிமாஸ்ல போய் நல்லா உட்கார்ந்து ஒரு மூவி ஃபுல் 2.5 ஹவர்ஸ்க்கு டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸே இல்லாம 8 வருஷம் ஆச்சு, இன்னும் நான் எனக்கு பண்ண சான்ஸ் கிடைக்கல. கிருத்திகா, ஐ எம் பீங் ரியலி ஆனஸ்ட் வித் யூ, பிகாஸ் entrepreneurship almost is just another ball game. And my husband often keeps joking that of all the businesses that you wanted to start, you decided to start one in
go ahead with this
space, which is working with creative artists.
Absolutely.
Mostly women that I work with, actually. But even though I crib and whine sometimes, because it is very challenging, and everybody comes with their own, angst and whatever. But I always believe that despite all the whining and cribbing and all the heartaches that I get, sometimes there is, every single artist has taught me something. And I have never till date lost that quality of wonderment that I get from either interviewing an artist or working with them. They're always teaching me something in a way that I say that I think, next time they call me, I'm like ready to go back again. So I think in some way, that quality of wonderment that we have for the arts, I think I also have it in some sense, because I keep going back. And even though it's a very, very unorganized space, Kritika, like sometimes artists will say, let's talk tonight, 9 p.m., right? And I realized that my team would not be ready sometimes to do that. But I've like learned to believe that I have built this baby, and I cannot throw tantrums and say, I will not take a call at 9 p.m. Like my husband would initially be like, early years, he would be like, you have to do this call at 9 p.m. And I'm like, yes, I have to. I have to. Yeah, I have to. This is my business. And I'm really fortunate, actually, I must say this, that I have a family that's very, very, that understands my passion and ambition and my energy, and is extremely, not just supportive, nurturing of that. So I think I I really feel that I must always like keep like acknowledging their sort of participation.
Absolutely. I think I think all of us understand the kind of the drive and the passion that you have towards the arts.
Well, so many times when I go for sponsorship meetings, I must tell you this, I'll go make an elaborate presentation and whatever. Literally every time, every single sponsor who either wants to give me money or not will say, மேடம், நீங்க நிஜமாவே ரொம்ப பேஷனட்டா இருக்கீங்க, பேஷனை பத்தி பிரச்சனையே இல்ல, பட் மேடம் எங்கனால இந்த காசு கொடுக்க முடியாது. So I'm glad at least they're taking home one little aspect on which Alap is built, which is my passion.
Absolutely.
And a passion of so many other people. Yeah, a whole bunch of people.
நீங்க பேசுறத பார்த்தாலே இப்போ ஆடல பாடலைனாலே, like after hearing you, they'll want to, oh my god, let's.
Thank you, Kritika.
Yes. Akka, are there like memorable projects that Alap has done? In the sense, you guys plan, execute, and kind of promote all of the, say you're working on a production. So planning, execution, promoting varaikum Alap pandrel. But or certain projects, kadasi nimsham varaikum, has it been challenging, or do you remember any specific projects like that?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you a really interesting story. Like in the year that, the second year that we started, so I started Alap. And the very next year, I got pregnant. And the third year, my son was born. So it's like literally I had my first baby, and then my second baby was born. And now my son's always competing with me. Amma, is Alap your first baby or your second baby? Amma, am I more important to you than Alap? So I'm like, okay, yeah, you are. Okay.
See, the passion Aryan varaikum perukku.
Amma. Seriously, yeah, he's very
Okay.
aware of it. So
Yeah.
the thing is that in that first year when I got pregnant, I think in my 12th or 13th week scan, I had to basically go on bed rest. And at that
Okay.
time, we had actually signed up a project called Sayujya, which was a beautiful collaboration project of Priyadarshini Govind and T.M. Krishna. And we actually took it on a 3-city tour to Chennai, Bombay, and Bangalore. In
Okay.
fact, I managed to go for the Mumbai concert. And then when I came back, I had some problems in my pregnancy. So Dr. Umaram had told me that, no, you have to go on bed rest.
Bed rest.
Which basically means at that time I had 1.5 employees. Literally 1.5
One and a
employees.
half. Oh, or part time.
Or part-time. Okay, and there's this young colleague of mine who was also my
Okay.
student of journalism at MOP Vaishnav, Payal Chabria, who doesn't work with me anymore, but is one of my oldest and
Yes.
sweetest colleagues that
We
I've ever
remember
had.
Payal.
Most people, yeah.
All of us
Yeah.
remember Payal. Yes.
Exactly. So I remember that. We had the show day after tomorrow, and I'm like, Payal, I cannot go. And I remember we used to have a home office, and நான் படுத்த படிக்கையா அவ வருவான் என் வீட்டுக்கு. நான் பெட்ல இருந்து அவளுக்கு Payal, this has to be done, that has to be done. இது பண்ணு, literally like Gurukula system மாதிரி நான் படுத்து instructions கொடுப்பேன். Anyway, பாவம் அது தைரியமா அது, she was I think like 23 years old, and she's a really shy, timid, sweet little girl.
Yeah.
And தைரியமா I said, Payal, come on, pack your bags, you have to go. I will handhold you from here. So தைரியமா எப்படியோ அனுப்பிச்சு விட்டுட்டேன். I told Krishna and Priya that, I'm sorry, only Payal has to run the show.
Yeah.
And ஒரு பெரிய show, only 1.5 people, ticketed show வேற. Never in my life ticketed shows.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So we went, and it's about 4 p.m. and I'm like constantly like WhatsApping Payal, is everything okay? And she's like, yes, ma'am, everything's going okay. At about 5:30, she called me and she said, ma'am, the cops are here. I'm like, cops? I'm like, okay, what happened? She said, ma'am, we're supposed to have paid the internet entertainment tax, and we've not paid it.
And this falls on you when you're bedridden here.
I'm bedridden, and I'm like, Arun, come here for help. And I'm like, so okay, Payal, so what do we need to do? She's like, ma'am, you need to send a letter, scan with your signature. நல்ல வேளை அன்னைக்கு என் வீட்டுல பிரிண்டர் வேலை பண்ணிட்டு.
ஆமா, கரெக்டா இந்த மாதிரி டைம்ல தான் எதுவுமே வேலை பண்ணாது.
சோ கடகடான்னு ஒரு லெட்டர் எழுதி அதை ஸ்கேன் பண்ணி பாயல் ஏதோ பக்கத்துல ஜெராக்ஸ் கடை அந்த I'm talking about also like 2013. அப்போ I don't even think we had configured our inboxes on our phones
yet.
Yeah. So she went to some photocopier shop, the print out எடுத்து அந்த காப்ஸ் முன்னாடி போய் அந்த லெட்டரை குடுத்து சப்மிட் பண்ணி எப்படியோ ஒரு 15-20 minutes delay ஆகி the show began. Believe me, Kritika, it was
so the ஆரம்பிச்ச பிரியாக்கு ஆர்டர் வரைக்கும் you would have been like பட.
I was pada till the show got over, because I knew that Krishna and Priya are going to call me and give me like, but they were so sweet. They were so kind and so like, kind about the whole thing, and they understood. So I think
you were doing your best from here. You were managing Payal
the thing is that we've made many mistakes, Kritika, because we did not come to this from like, we know exactly, we're an event management company, none of this. Like I said, it's only like passion, imagination. இதெல்லாம் வச்சு we are like ஓட்டிருக்கோம் 7 வருஷம் ஓட்டிருக்கோம் எப்படி. But the thing is that
you're a success story. What ஓட்டிருக்கோம்?
So the thing is, but then one thing that I can say and fairly confidently is that every project we've made mistakes, every single project, and we've definitely done whatever it takes to never repeat them. Correct. And we've been very conscious about whatever it is. We always, like, I try to definitely relook a project that's just gone by. What are the mistakes that we made? For example, Ippo Through His Lens, we did a festival 2 weeks ago. Adila,
with the male artists.
Absolutely. Adila, we forgot to tell a lot of artists to turn the comment section off on the... So a lot of artists were doing that, But then the next time, it was specifically in our manual to tell all the artists to do that. So I feel like... I feel like also all my followers and viewers and all my supporters of Alaf have been so, in some sense, they've shown me so much love. Half the people, like we have a following of 18,000. I don't even know these people, but I feel like when like so many names that come to me, like Divya Gopal Dance, there's so many names that they write to me, and I feel like a connection with them. Who are they? I don't know them, but they supported my brand.
You've grown as a family.
Exactly. and that support that they have shown me is really like how நீங்க டான்ஸ் ஆடினா கிளாப் பண்றாங்கல்ல,
ஆமா,
that makes you feel good,
kind of
right?
gives us a boost. ஆமா, கண்டிப்பா.
Absolutely. That has been our biggest, the fact that a bunch of people have validated our story time and again and have encouraged us to go forward has really, really, truly been the reason we've sort of moved forward constantly.
Yeah, beautifully put. Akka,
Thank
also
you.
I'm curious about, as a person, when you're stressed about something, what do you kind of do to get your creative juices flowing? I'm sure it's not easy because நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி this lockdown situation especially, Alap has been super, super productive. Every other day you guys come up with something. So you have a podcast running, you have Her by Her பண்ணீங்க, அதுக்கு முன்னாடி you have mixtape. In the Madi Valentine's, you did like a series of things. So you constantly have to like challenge yourself and keep coming up with something. So what is the one thing that kind of detoxes and helps you be creative constantly?
That's a really tough question. The thing is, I think I'm wired like I'm like constantly like I can't like idle. Like my father says, on a leisure a word or a meaning தெரியாது. I don't know.
Which is
that
why
meaning.
in the lockdown is actually stressful, no, for you?
Yeah, for me very stressful because that too housework. Adha patti pesave vendam, please. And cooking, both.
I know, I get
zero
that.
skills in cooking, so it's made me like try to like make all kinds of pushnika koot and all that. Anyway, so I think I'm like in some way like constantly one side of me, Kritika, is always trying to. I'm always thinking about something.
Yeah.
Like even when I lie down, I'm always thinking about what can I do next? What can I do better? What can I do to make my audience happy? What can I do to like grow the following? How can I give an idea to an artist that she will really appreciate? How can I like do whatever it takes that will help her journey be better? The thing is that I've also always believed that I get a certain kind of joy in sharing an idea for an artist and seeing that seeing that idea translate for that artist.
Translate,
It gives
yes.
me immense joy. Like,
Yeah.
I love sometimes just being that silent person who's given an idea and for that idea to germinate, and it gives me so much pleasure.
Just to watch,
And even
yes.
randomly people, when they call me, like yesterday somebody had called me and I was giving that person ideas. My husband's like, really, Akhila, like you have time to talk to this person and give him ideas? Like you have so much on your plate. Is this the time for you to be giving ideas? And I'm like, but okay, he called me. I'm happy to share the idea, So
Yeah.
I think I'm always one side of me, Kritika, always is thinking. It's thinking
Yeah.
of something or the other. And I feel like it's important for me to survive like that because just kind of, I'm not a person who enjoys like just winding down and chilling. And I like it in my head. I love the idea of going and sitting in a beach and all that. But when I sit on
But
the
when
beach
it
also,
actually happens, yeah, you'll probably sit for 5 minutes, you'll come back and start
and
working.
I'd like my mobile also and WhatsApp be connected to WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I guess that's really how I'm wired. And I really derive a lot of like my father says, if you do something that you love, then you never feel tired.
Absolutely.
So I think
and you
really,
kind of challenge yourself to bring out the best in yourself.
Yeah,
So
I think so. I think we have one life, and I think we definitely have to make it count. I really do believe that that's imperative. Yeah.
correct. And with a driving force like you, can we talk a little bit about Alap's team and how important and the team is and how you guys are as a family?
So you'd be surprised to know that for almost 3 or 4 years, 3 years now, we don't have an office. We don't have a physical office.
Okay.
We just know everybody. That. Yeah, we don't have a physical office.
I just assume that you have a small space that you're working out of.
Yes, I have a small function, but our office is WhatsApp.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys are managing to do so much on with WhatsApp.
So anybody who wants to join Alap, first of all, has to basically surrender Sharanagati and say, now WhatsApp 24/7 available. The main qualification.
உங்களுக்கு இருக்கிற passionக்கு நடுராத்திரி கூட you message.
Yeah, and where edume qualification venda. This is actually a very simple business, Kritika. Like it does not require anything, like I said, other than passion, constant ability to think out of the box, and a certain like sense of that wonderment and good communication skills. This is what it needs.
Right.
And being hooked to WhatsApp. For sure. So we work literally on
that's
WhatsApp.
An important skill.
And recently I've discovered the joy of audio messages. So every 3 minutes I'm sending.
It will save you that time.
Yeah. Otherwise, now elaborate. Now for this year, I've only sent WhatsApp voice messages. I'm like, I'll be the boss and I'll send, guys, have you done this? So the question about so we have a small team and the team keeps changing. For the longest time, it was just Payal and me. So it was just a 2-member team. Then at some point, we became a 3-member team. We had Satvika with us, Satvika, Payal, and I. Then we had a few people who came and went because also it is such Alap is, like I said, right? It mirrors the arts industry. It is a very unorganized. It's an unorganized space to work in. So you have to be open to late nights, early mornings. Kartal, if you're working on PR, like before the artist sends you the clipping from the newspaper, you have to wake up and send it. So it requires a certain
it's a creative industry. So
absolutely. So I think in some way that at this point I have a 3-member team, and I think that I think each of them brings 3 different value systems to the brand. I have this young girl who's joined me called Subiksha now, who's working with me, and believe me, Kritika, I haven't seen her yet. நான் அவளை பார்த்ததே கிடையாது.
The quarantine timeல தான் join பண்ணிருக்காங்க.
She joined for 2.5 months ago, and she brings to the team a certain sense of passion. And she also,
it's amazing that you haven't met her yet.
And I trust her so much. And I have this girl called Suprita, who I think she brings to the team a certain friendship. I've met her through my days at the Hindu, and then I have
Satvika Akka sends like a heart smiley.
Oh,
hi Satvika Akka.
Hi. So Satvika has just taken a little like a break, but she's like an on and off. She'll come and go with Alap. She's an independent consultant for Alap. So and Rajesh, who brings to the table a great sense of trust. He's an old friend of mine who works now with Alap, part-times with Alap. He has another full-time job. So I think that it's constructed on these value systems. Everything else, Kritika, honestly can be taught. You can teach people to write well. You can teach people to whatever. But these are very, very important values. They need to come to you with trust. They need to come to you with a certain passion to learn. They need to commit their time and energy to sort of work with you. And I think that really is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, somebody who has some brilliant ideas or somebody who makes fantastic, sponsorship decks. I don't need those. Those things are what? Finally, you need people who work for people, right?
Correct.
After all, that's what businesses are built on. You need people whom you can trust, whom you can rely on, and people who are going to like just before I logged in, like my team was like all the best and stuff. That's what I need.
Yes, right? They've been very excited through the day. I can see.
Yeah.
I've been excited too because you're my guest.
Thank you.
I've only I think we only discussed on the flow of the event or how it's meant to go, but then
correct.
So nice.
I remember that lovely conversation that you moderated with Nartaki Akka and Shakti.
That was great. That was so nice.
It was a fantastic conversation. Yeah.
So despite having this busy schedule, I've known you as a person for a while, and you make sure that you spend a good amount of time at home with your family. So how do you kind of manage both of this? Because yours isn't like you rightly mentioned, it's not like a 9 to 5 job. So ஆஃபீஸ் போயிட்டு வர மாதிரி எல்லாம் கிடையாது. எப்போ வேணாலும் வேலை வரலாம், எப்போ வேணாலும் பிஸி ஆவேன். அப்படி இருக்கும்போது how do you manage spending time with family as well?
Yeah, so the thing is that that I've struggled through this. I'm like, am I doing a good job here? Am I giving quality time to my child? Am I like giving quality time to Alap? Thing is, Kritika, honestly, there's no definitive answer to this. There is no such thing as I will find the perfect balance and I will be like an amazing mother and amazing. It's not possible. I think I have in some sense mastered the art of multitasking. And I think I do it pretty well. I can do dishes and take a client call
at the same
give
time.
ideas at the same time. And I think, and I can be on a Zoom school class with my son and parallelly be texting artists for my next festival. I do all of that.
That comes in handy so much.
And it's okay. And the thing is, I also think that I'm around for my child. I give him as much love and as much freedom and as much, I teach him as much as I can. I let him be as much as I can. And he understands that I have, something as precious as Alap. And he's very, very, he knows that we have Instagram events and he's like, Amma, when am I going to go live? I said, soon. So
oh my God, that'll be so much fun to have Aryan.
Kids are resilient. They figure it out. and
Yeah.
they're not like I feel they're less demanding. I feel like if I was constantly with him, then I feel like he would have like too much of me as well. So I think I've figured out this whole art of being there and doing a bunch of things. I'm never going to say that I'm here and I will completely cut off, because that's not going to happen. That is not possible. Do you ever do that?
No.
Do you ever, yeah. If you have a show coming up, are you able to like completely tune out and do it? You can't,
No.
right?
Yeah.
We're all
and
human.
the thing is,
we're all human, and I think it's about time that we stop feeling guilty about being like being super women and being like good. We're good at everything, and it's all right if we are not like going to be able to spend like quality time here and quality time there. I think everybody understands and the family appreciates
a
what
lot
you
of
do.
people are very hard on themselves when it comes to this.
I
because
think so.
of the guilt.
And I used to be that too. I used to be very, very guilty, but I'm like, no, this is equally important for me. This is equally important for my identity. And I'm going to do the best that I can as a mother. But that does not mean that my only identity will remain just by being a great wife, or I don't even know if I'm a great wife. My husband's listening. Yeah, fantastic mother, or like a fantastic daughter. I definitely need an identity which is just mine. And I think like
that's a good point. I think for women in general, what you said right now.
Yeah,
because women in generally, nariya per sacrificial, they don't focus on themselves or what they're good at or what they're passionate about. No, and that's a very, very good point.
I do think that I mean, of course, I'm scared about which woman I say this to, but I almost always, whenever a woman gives me a little window of opportunity and says, okay, I can take that liberty, I try to tell them that it's imperative that apart from this, I mean, I have all respect for homemakers and they're fantastic, but I do think that everybody needs to find at least 1 hour where they carve for themselves an identity of their own and nurture it, because it's very important for the head and for the soul.
Yeah, to fuel the soul. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So I will, inge yaro ketrika, if because of the lockdown, you guys are doing a lot of new themes and initiatives. So after the lockdown in the Madri, will you continue doing? That's a question that I've gotten for you.
I mean, we're definitely
as in using the medium of social media. Will you keep planning programs in the future?
Yeah. So I want to make this one point, Kritika, that, actually the world around us, like yesterday, my husband was telling me there were 150,000 deaths. I mean, the world around is very, very grim, right? We're in a very, very difficult, trying situation.
Yeah, very, very.
But I do believe that every situation is an opportunity of some sort. Now, personal, like go for classes,
work on
language, work on themselves. We have chosen to work on the brand. We have chosen to look inward. What is the ethos of the brand? How can we create for the brand new avenues, new initiatives that are not merely intermittent as during this phase, but also have the potential of becoming long-term, avenues for not just merely for engagement and entertainment, but also for generating revenue, both for us and for the arts industry as a whole.
Correct.
So I do think that this has been a very, very fruitful time for us. And I have, as a person, also, I'm not the very moping sort. I have a more like a practical approach to life. And I usually like, if I have a huge breakdown session, sometimes, like I'm really like tired and I have a meltdown. It just takes me like 5 minutes. I will line my eyes and I'm like back to business. Let's go. So I feel like I was like, for 1 week I was struggling to like, okay, corona and the house chores, when I just could not get myself up. And then I was like, you know what, this is the best time. This is the godsend time for me to spread positivity through the way that I know best. I have a brand. The brand has earned goodwill. Artists are coming forward. Why don't I, reach out to them and be an enabler of sorts to spread positivity? And that is literally the only thing that we are doing.
Like you said, you just said you decided to focus on the brand. But I think I was just about to say that through all of these, I think Alap's going live almost every day with different artists. And in some way, I feel like during such a trying time, you guys are spreading positivity by letting the artists share their art with people, not just here, but world over. So
absolutely. And I think that, somebody was, I think Satvika and I were chatting a few days ago, and I was telling her that, it's also like a selfish idea, because at 9 p.m. my husband takes my son to bed, And that 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. mixtape is like when I sit down and listen to
You are
music.
unwinding with the,
I'm unwinding. I mean, it's like, what more can I have? I'm curating this and I'm getting to enjoy it myself. And day before yesterday, invited my father for Sridhar Vasudevanji's concert and Shreya's concert. He came over and we sat together and listened to this. Now, this is like, and I know that like I sound like this does not have the experience of a live concert, sure, Kritika, but I personally feel when I'm looking at the mobile and listening, I feel like yesterday I felt like Aditya Prakash was singing directly for me.
Correct.
And he spoke about romantic quality of the midnight and all. I felt like he was talking to me.
Yeah,
So
it's more
also
personal, right? It's very personal. So
it's very, very personal. So it's definitely a great new medium that's going to open up a plethora of possibilities. How we use it is, we'll see how things, we don't know how tomorrow is going to be. So based on that, we'll take a call.
we're celebrating each day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing is you guys have come up with the Undistancing project. So could you talk a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah. So I'm always interested in like wordplay.
Yeah.
Like it's like also because as an editor, I my favorite test like job would be to like give titles. I could spend like a whole day. Like you want to think of like you want a project, you want a name for it, then I would love to like spend my whole day doing that. So in some way, like people like my ex-colleagues would call me like headline queen. So I really, really enjoy like giving headlines. Yeah. So I feel like when everybody was talking about social distancing, I thought we could turn that whole thing and use social media as an undistancing medium
To connect.
To connect. So let's use the power of the social media to bring to you voices from across the world where people share with us, life in times of lockdown from their context. So Maithili Prakash, like literally in her podcast, took us to her studio, gave us a little insight about how as a mother she's dealing with the lockdown. How does she keep her little roomie entertained? How has she used the lockdown phase to look inward? So I think it's a project that attempts to allow people. And also I was keen on starting a podcast because for a long time I've wanted to do a podcast. And literally, honestly, I think Sudiksha is on this chat. We literally discussed it, and literally the next day she put it up on Spotify. So
That was
and the other thing is, Kritika, I'm not like because I don't come from a business background, nothing. I'm a very, very like, I'll think of something today, I want to do it tomorrow. And I'm also like, I can therefore be a bit haphazard and like whatever about, I want to do like so much at the same time. So I can be a bit like my desk sometimes is like a clutter, and it's like, my husband keeps saying it's a reflection of your head.
Of what's going on inside.
Yeah, but literally we launched it like then and there. Like we just kind of decided to roll with it. And I feel like I feel there's a certain magic of doing things spontaneously, which is what sort of keeps me going even at Alap, right? I never kind of get tired because every day I'm also trying to do something new and challenging myself. Yeah.
So I wanted to, in particular, talk about your Nirikshana, Natya Kala conference. It was such a massive success. And how was it working with Ramaka? And in fact, I think in the quarantine, you had planned like a destination workshop also.
I know.
So could you talk about how it was working with her? And
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure Ramaji is on this, but it's been really, there are some artists, then there are other artists, then there are different artists, whatever. But with Rama Vaidyanathan, it's been fabulous. What I particularly want to acknowledge on this platform is, I think she's a dancer who sort of empowered us in a certain way, where she said, I'm going to do this. She curated it. And she said, you guys understand the marketing aspects of it. So I will listen to you. And I will offer suggestions, if any, or I will fine tune it if it needs to be fine tuned. So I feel like that trust that she entrusted on us and gave us a certain complete.
And that's freedom. One meticulous person working with the other. So,
I mean, she's like, fabulous, right? But I've had that, So she kind of trusted us. And I think, and the thing is, up until the Natya Kala conference, I have never worked with her, Kritika. This was my first time with her. Yeah, but it was, I have really, truly made somebody, I've learned so much from her, just the quality of rigor, being at it constantly. And I must tell you that also like the other dancers that I have worked with, every single person
has
teaches
taught you
me something. Absolutely. I worked with Srinidhi before that. And, your mother's there. I worked with her before. Every single
Yes.
person, I have
Yeah.
learned some quality. Everybody has one quality. Some people have many more qualities. That doesn't matter. But I feel like we come back enriched to see how can we put that quality to practice in the next project that we do. So I feel like I think the beauty of Nirikshana was that the fact that
Yeah.
Ramaji, and the thing is, she did not. Another amazing thing is that Kritika, she's so giving, and that she's never like she at no point felt like she must not acknowledge Alap's growth in this whole thing,
Yeah,
or contribution in this whole thing. She was very generous in acknowledging us, and
Right.
that
Hi,
means
Sita
a
auntie.
lot. Oh, hi.
Sita auntie is online.
Oh, hello. And I think that makes the whole process very, very joyous when somebody shares without, no, she's beyond who she's
Yeah.
a really big dancer, right? Without any
And when they're so giving.
so giving, right? And empowering at the same time.
Absolutely.
And I think and I think most of the conveners of the Natyakala conference I've worked with have done that. They've given and they have acknowledged. So I think it's
Just
been
to
a
be able to
hugely-
share is a big
Yeah.
deal. So
it's a very, very big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've learned that. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
really want to like place that on record. Yeah.
super. I actually wanted to also ask you about what projects are in the pipeline. Is it like a secret, or what can we expect from?
Well, there were many projects in the pipeline.
Okay, what are you looking forward to?
I
the
don't
most?
know where the pipeline is now. இப்போ எங்க போக போறோம்னு
போயிட்டே
தெரியாது.
இருக்கு.
அடுத்தது நான் எப்போ புடவை கட்டிப்பேன்னு தெரியாது எனக்கு.
அச்சச்சோ.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we definitely wanted to do a very, very interesting immersive with Rama Vaidyanathan ji at the Bali resort that Renuka Vaidyanathan owns. That has obviously, taken I don't know what we're going to do with it. We were working with Alarmel Valli for the Bani festival. We have to see how things are going to take shape. There is the Natyakala conference 2020,
which we're all really looking forward to.
Which is incidentally the 40th year of the Natyakala conference. So we're really looking forward to that.
Big. Yes.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see. Only time. Now I can only say only time can tell.
Before I let you go, last question. So in the lockdown, Nala, we're not able to do much. So what is the one thing that you're really looking forward to doing once this is all done?
Oh, I'm waiting
so
for
many things, I think.
No. I'm waiting
You're like, which one should I talk about?
Illa. I'm waiting for my maid to come back, for my nanny to come back, for my son's nanny to come back. I'm waiting for my husband to go back to work.
Epic answer. Nobody has told me this.
My son to go back to school.
Okay.
And then my real lockdown begins. Anniki oru naal, just oru naal, I want to wear my PJs, sit and
chill.
watch Netflix and chill. That will be my real holiday.
My goodness.
That is what I'm waiting for. I don't have to cook my own meals and eat it, endure it.
It's very stressful, no, for you?
It is really very stressful, yeah.
Sorry, very cute.
இல்ல இப்பதான் எங்க அம்மாவை பயங்கரமா கத்திட்டு இருக்கேன். சும்மா இதுக்கு போ, அந்த கிளாஸுக்கு போ, இந்த படி, அத படி, சமையலே கத்து கொடுக்கலையா? So I'm like, hello. You've left me.
First layer the interest வரல first layer.
Yeah, but now I've learned. Thank God for the lockdown. I'm a little better now. I can cut cabbage well.
Yeah. But because you spoke to me about my recipes, the lockdown kapra I'll cook for you. Okay, you'll eat, no? You're interested in eating. You're interested in eating, no?
Very interested. That's why I told you I'm waiting for my cook to come back. Yeah, for sure.
Sure. Akhilaka, thank you so much. 1 hour ipdi pochine theriyala, and I'm so glad that you agreed to go live with me.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you everybody for tuning in. It really, truly means a lot.